Oh my god. She has the blender going. Alright, hey everyone, my name is Anthony and today I'm going to go over 3 things that you could do right now to any basic chords that you have to make your song sound really unique. If you do like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for future tutorials and cover songs just like this one. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and grab our ukuleles and let's begin. Alright, so before we begin, let's go ahead and discuss the 3 things that we're going to be talking about in this video. So number 1 is going to be chord variations / melody. Number 2 is going to be rhythm patterns. And lastly is going to be plucking / strumming. So I know it's technically 5 things, but we're going to sum it down to 3. I feel like these tips and tricks will actually help you take any basic chords that are out there and will actually help you make it into a whole completely new song that sounds completely different, and it'll have your own unique touch on it. So in this cover, I'm actually going to use C, G, and F, which is really basic, at least to me. And so real quick, I'm going to go ahead and play the song I've come up with, and then we're going to try to mess around with it a little bit using the 3 things I'm going to be discussing in this video. So let's go ahead and begin. Alright, so let's cover the topic of chord variations. As you can see here, I just played regular C, regular G, regular F, and then C and then G. So how can we make this a little more interesting? Well, let's go ahead and start off with our C chord here. There's also this variation of C, and there's also this variation of C right here, so which is actually this chord right here. But for this case, I actually prefer this C right here. And notice it kind of gives it more of a little fuller sound compared to this. It sounds a little deeper, but it's the easiest one to play. But this kind of gives it a little more full sound. There's this G right here, and there's also this G up here. That's another way to play a different G, but for this case, I'm actually going to play just this regular G. And then, let's see, F's right here. But I know F is up here too. So now we're playing in a different position. So far if I was supposed to go this C, and I'm gonna leave the G because I like where that one's going. We try F. Sounds alright. And then down to C again. Or actually, yeah, C again. And then G. And then back to C. So already it sounds a little more, little different so far, but I'm pretty big on adding melodies in a lot of my songs, and a lot of my melodies actually go off this high A string here. I never really try to go too far from it. If I can, a lot of my melodies actually come from this high string here. So basing the melody off the high A string, I'm going to add some melody to this actually. So let's start off with the C chord here, and then see what we get. And easily for me, I always do this in a lot of my songs. I'm gonna come up right here to the 3rd fret on the A string, and then this right here, which is I know is a G sus4, which sounds pretty nice. So let me play that one more time. There's a little climb, and then I know F is right here, but I wanted to give it some melody, so instead of going straight to this F chord, let me try just barring this first. Sounds pretty good. Let me climb up one more right here. Sounds nice. So let me try putting out all that together. Alright, barring. And then I know my next chord is C, but instead of coming down here, I actually want to hit this note right here, which still will work because you're hitting the same arrangement of the C. You're actually just moving here though. So you still have the ground root of the C, it's just adding a little more melody to it. So let's play that. Actually, that sounds pretty nice. Down right here. And then I want to hit this note, so we're going to go back to the G sus4. and then ending on C. So let's put all that together and let's see what we got. So right now we're starting off with the C chord, down to the G, this is the F, and then here is the C, down to G sus4, and then ending on C. So let's move on to the next topic, and this next topic is actually going to involve rhythm. And a lot of things that I try to do, I like adding palm mutes. If those who don't know who a palm mute is, pretty much it's when you cover up all the strings and that's a palm mute. Pretty much the strings are not vibrating at all whatsoever. And to make this a little more interesting, let's try to add some palm muting in here to this song. So far this is our rhythm. So if I want to add some palm muting, let me try this. Yeah, sounds pretty cool. So pretty much what I'm doing here is when I'm adding this rhythm to it, I'm still using the same, but instead now I'm changing it up with the strumming pattern as far as palm muting. I shouldn't say strumming pattern. I'm actually changing the accent of the notes when they start coming in. So instead of holding them out for the whole length of time, which is, you know, I'm kind of giving them more like a you know, lifting off the chord, so it kind of gives it that more Hawaiian feeling. Which actually works out pretty well, because if I were to hold the C right here, I'd have to do that rather than just, it's a little more work because I have to do this rather than just doing a regular C, and I just slightly lift up to where my hands are actually covering the strings, just like that. So now I press, let just lift up, and so when I strum now, gives it some rhythm. Cool. So that's also another thing you can do with rhythms. Also too, because you're in 4/4 time, there's so many other things that you actually can do. So for instance, you don't have to play this rhythm. You know, you could even, you could do that too. You know. But that's just one of the many things, including doing double time with it, you know, just do halftime, you know. Oh. Which is, actually I like that one a little more, so let's try that one. So that actually sounds way better than what we had. So let's go over what we had in the beginning, and now let's see our end result. So let's try it out. All right, so now let's try our new product that we have. Cool. So that's something you can do with rhythms. Obviously there's many opportunities. You can even add a beat in there maybe, you know, just, yeah. You know, there's plenty of things you could do with rhythm. So the drumming is probably unnecessary, but for starters, definitely the palm muting thing for sure. You know, obviously playing a bunch of different things. And if you need help with assistance, you know, you always can look up different pop songs, and they always have unique beats that I always think are pretty cool. Even though it's in 4/4 time, sometimes you can find something a little more interesting. So now let's move on to the next part, which is obviously plucking. So plucking, instead of using one finger, or you know, the pick right here to give it more of that volume, that actually gives you a lot of volume, which is actually, you know, good in some scenarios. However, for me, I actually use 3. So let's listen to the difference, because if I have my C chord and I strum with my index finger, I'm only strumming, you know, these 4 strings, right? So if I go, it's only going up and down 4 times, or down 4 times, you know, for instance. And if I use 3 though, it actually goes down 12. So if I lead with my my ring finger here, and then to my middle and to my index, so it's going to sound something like this. So it's kind of, and then of course when I end up strumming, I actually use 2 of these fingers, so you kind of get that double again, which is like a 12 and then 8, you know, times that the strings are actually strummed, compared to just my regular index finger, and actually kind of gives you more of a unique, fuller sound that I personally enjoy when I play. And so let me play you the difference of what we have so far with our almost finished product. So let's try it out. We're gonna do 1 finger only, and let's see how it sounds. So 1 finger. Cool. So now let's try with 3 fingers like I normally play. So to me, it actually gives it a more round sound, you know, just much more complete in my personal opinion. But you know, just do whatever you think sounds best. If you think the 1 finger sounds best, you know, go for it. But just to me, I use 3 fingers. So that's one thing you can do also with these fingers. Obviously, you can do some plucking as far as you know, individual notes. Pick whatever pattern you want. So utilize your fingers too. You know, that's always important. You got, you know, 5 of them on here. Play with them as ever you want, but this actually can give you a more advantage as with playing with melodies or giving yourself a fuller sound. And you know, these are different techniques that you can actually use to put towards your playing, and you know, help your style. Even though you're playing something very basic as far as C, G, F, which are very basic chords, you don't have to come up with something, you know, crazy to make it sound so unique. You can use the basics and actually make them sound like a completely different song. You can have a whole album which is C, G, and F, but as long as you play them maybe in different variations, or you play them, you know, with different plucking patterns or anything like that, or rhythm patterns, no one's ever going to know the difference. And that's just my opinion. Obviously, this is what I do when I play with my songs. So let's go ahead and start from the very top with our first product that we had, and then let's see our ending result. So let's go ahead and take from the top, 1 finger only, and let's just play like as if you know, we were just strumming the chords regularly. So ready, 1, 2, 3, and actually. And now let's go ahead and add the finished product with 3 fingers, including the rhythm patterns and the chord variation with the melodies. So let's see how this sounds compared to that. Alright, so those are my 3 tips and tricks that I use when I play ukulele. If you have any more questions or concerns, please leave me a comment below. And if you want to get a hold of me directly, you guys can always reach me at imanthonyjames9@gmail.com. And maybe I can be your own little ukulele coach, if you want to call it that. And maybe I can help you guys out with something there too. So if you do like this video, please subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. We'll see you guys next time.